The cameras flashed, the crowd froze, and just like that, Hollywood had a completely new obsession.
Oh, absolutely.
Because behind closed doors, an era was ending, but a completely new foundation was already being poured. Amy Schumer's marriage ended. Her dream home is just beginning.
Right. It's this ultimate story of, like, shedding the past to build a completely new future. And it played out on one of the most legally complex and, frankly, expensive stages in real estate.
Welcome to Starscope Report. Join us as we uncover Hollywood drama, music industry shakeups, and viral influencer scandals. From red carpet surprises to social media controversies, we dive deep into the stories behind the fame.
Yeah, and today we are so excited to bring you along for this deep dive.
Because we're exploring how a massive personal transition triggers an absolutely wild multi-million-dollar real estate shuffle. And we have a great stack of sources today.
We really do. We're pulling from real estate listings on Realtor.com and Domino, some really juicy insider gossip from Rob Shooter's newsletter, and timeline details from Us Weekly and E! News.
Oh, and we can't forget the quirky, home-worthy YouTube home tour.
Yes. That tour is so chaotic and revealing.
It's the best. So I want you, our listener, to think about a celebrity divorce, not just as like a romantic breakup, but as a massive corporate merger that is dissolving.
Oh, I love that analogy.
Right. Because when the public focuses entirely on the emotional gossip, who said what, who's to blame, they completely miss the massive logistical unwinding happening behind the scenes.
Exactly. There are shareholders to manage, which in this case are the fans.
Yeah.
And liquidated assets, which are these multi-million-dollar properties.
And a massive PR spin. Because when Amy Schumer and her husband, the James Beard award-winning chef Chris Fischer, announced their split in December 2025, it shocked people.
It really did. I mean, by January 6, 2026, she officially filed for an uncontested joint divorce. But that clean legal filing, that was the result of months of strategic unwinding.
Yeah, to understand how they unwound this corporation, we have to look at how fast it was built. They met in 2017, got married in February 2018.
Super fast.
And it was this chill, last-minute Malibu beach ceremony. She literally texted the invites days before. You had Jennifer Lawrence and Larry David just like casually showing up in sunglasses.
It felt so grounded for Hollywood.
Yeah.
But man, from the very beginning, they were thrown into the deep end. The sheer density of life-altering milestones in their 7-year marriage is just staggering.
It really is intense. Let's break the timeline down a bit. In May 2019, they welcomed their son, Gene.
Which, wait, we have to mention the name thing because it shows how they use humor to cope.
Oh my gosh, yes. So his middle name was originally Attell, after her friend Dave Attell. But they legally changed it to David after realizing Gene Attell sounded way too much like Bean Metal.
Yeah, Gene Attell, just the hazard of comedians naming children, I guess.
Totally. But, alongside the jokes, there was real gravity. Ahead of Gene's birth, Chris was diagnosed with autism spectrum disorder.
Right, and Amy was incredibly open about this. She said it was actually a positive milestone because it gave them the tools to understand each other better. Exactly. But she was navigating his neurodivergent diagnosis while simultaneously dealing with hyperemesis gravidarum during her pregnancy.
And we cannot gloss over that. HG is no joke. It's not just like morning sickness. It is severe, relentless nausea and vomiting. People get hospitalized.
Yeah, she had to cancel comedy tours.
Yeah.
And the medical hurdles didn't even stop there. In 2022, she had a surgical hysterectomy to battle severe endometriosis.
Chris was right by her bedside for all of that. They even filmed that pandemic cooking show together for Max. Amy Schumer Learns to Cook.
So you take a new marriage, a diagnosis, a traumatic pregnancy, major surgery, a global pandemic, and a toddler all in a few years. It creates a deep bond, but also immense pressure.
Which brings us to the rumors.
Right. The corporate PR aspect kicks in here.
Yeah, early December 2025, Rob Shooter's newsletter claims insiders are seeing a profound disconnect. They said Chris was struggling with the imbalance of Amy's fame and wealth.
Feeling like a +1.
But the most brutal claim, and this is wild, was that Chris supposedly missed the old Amy following her recent weight loss. Ugh, I hate that.
Right. Saying he didn't recognize the woman she'd become. Can you imagine having your health journey weaponized in a gossip column during a breakup?
Especially after a hysterectomy and endometriosis. It's such a vicious, tired tabloid trope trying to blame a woman's changing body for a complex marital breakdown.
It really is designed to strip her of her agency, but, and this is where her PR brilliance shines, she didn't release some defensive publicist statement.
No, she used humor.
Exactly. On December 12th, she posts this photo of them on the New York City subway.
The subway location is so deliberate, it's gritty, it's normal, it screams, "We aren't Hollywood elites hiding in a mansion."
And in the caption, she explicitly stated the split was amicable, built on love and respect, but she directly addressed the rumors, saying the split was not because she dropped some pounds.
Or because Chris, and I love this quote, is a hot James Beard award-winning chef who can still pull some hot tail.
It's iconic. By making it a joke, she completely deflated the tabloids. They had nothing left to speculate on. A total masterclass in reclaiming the narrative. But, while she's controlling Instagram, a massive logistical unwinding is happening offline.
Oh, absolutely. Because you can laugh off a rumor, but you cannot laugh off dissolving a multi-million-dollar real estate portfolio.
And wait until you hear the multi-million-dollar losses involved with that unwinding. It's wild.
Seriously, the financial hits are staggering. If you're loving these Hollywood twists, make sure you're subscribed. We've got even crazier real estate numbers ahead.
You definitely want to hit subscribe for this next part. Because amidst the divorce news, Amy offloaded her historic Brooklyn Heights townhouse at a shocking $1.25 million loss.
Okay, let's look at the math here because it blew my mind. They bought it in 2022 for $12.25 million.
Right.
Listed it in March 2025 for $14 million. But by December 2025, the same month, they announced the split it sold for $11 million.
A $1.25 million loss on the purchase price alone. That doesn't even count renovations or closing costs.
Which makes zero financial sense. She had just paid a fortune to rip up a brick patio and hire Michael Van Valkenburg, the guy who designed Brooklyn Bridge Park, to put in a custom turf backyard and a play structure for Jean.
It's true, but you have to look at the invisible carrying costs.
What do you mean?
Well, the sunk cost fallacy is real. Think about the astronomical property taxes in Brooklyn Heights. Plus, specialized insurance, climate control for a 5,600 square foot space, maintenance.
Oh, wow. I didn't even think of that.
Yeah, keeping an empty $14 million mansion for 2 years while waiting for the market to bounce back, that might actually cost more than just taking the $1.25 million hit right now.
That literal burn rate is terrifying. And this wasn't just any house. The Domino piece described it as an 1829 federal-style townhouse.
Yeah, which is very formal, very symmetrical, and rooted in history. It looks like a historical monument.
Wait, wasn't it the exterior for the Castorini house in the Cher movie Moonstruck?
Yes, from 1987. So she was living inside cinematic history.
But honestly, that sounds heavy. Like, not very breezy or carefree.
No, it's weighty. It had these dark exposed beams, wide plank floors, and the kitchen was a chef's dream, totally centered around Chris.
Right, salvaged wood cabinetry, Gaggenau appliances.
And a massive 3-oven Lacanche range. Those bespoke French stoves cost as much as a luxury car.
So when the marriage ends, that house instantly becomes a museum of a life you don't live anymore.
Exactly. But she was shedding properties on multiple fronts. Simultaneously, they listed their New Orleans French Quarter retreat for $1.25 million.
The getaway they bought in 2021. And if Brooklyn was a monument, New Orleans was a jewel box.
Oh, completely. The Homeworthy YouTube tour of that No LA house is wildly personal and chaotic.
Total sensory overload.
Yeah, you walk in and there's this flamingo room with hand-painted murals and a pink room with India Madhavi furniture, those like cartoonishly plush scalloped velvet chairs.
Super high-end, whimsical stuff.
Right, but then right next to it, she has a random thrift store bar she proudly dragged in.
I love that. And the library has a classic sliding ladder, but then she shows off a purely decorative Sound of Music plate with Julie Andrews.
So funny. And the kitchen island was modeled after Ultra Paradiso in New York. Chris's influence again. But she opens the fridge, and it's just leftover Chinese food and string cheese.
It's such a grounded, messy reality. She even showed off a high-tech Toto bidet toilet in a bathroom with a plaster tub, saying she wanted to feel transported to Italy.
Right, so you have this grand Brooklyn townhouse and this funky NOLA jewel box. She sheds both at the same time.
Taking a massive loss isn't a bad business deal here. It's the premium you pay for a clean break.
Exactly. Cutting your losses to buy your freedom.
So she's shedding the past, taking a financial hit, and closing these major chapters. But where is she actually going?
That is the best part.
Later in the episode, we'll talk about the secret $6.25 million sanctuary nobody saw coming and the stunning photos she finally shared.
You won't want to miss this twist. Stay tuned and hit that subscribe button so you don't miss what's coming next.
Okay, so here is the massive twist in the timeline that genuinely shocked me. Property records show that months before she ever listed the Brooklyn home, She quietly bought a secret $6.25 million corner condominium overlooking Central Park.
Yes, records showed she bought it under a trust a full year ago, in January 2025.
A full year. The divorce wasn't announced until December 2025. So for a year, while rumors swirled and they were in couples therapy, she was secretly building this sanctuary.
It's incredible.
But how does a massive celebrity buy a $6 million penthouse without TMZ finding out immediately?
Well, back to the corporate merger analogy. High net worth individuals use revocable living trusts or shell LLCs. A legal trustee signs the public documents.
So her name is nowhere on it.
Right. The deed goes to a generic string of numbers or an obscure trust. It buys the most valuable asset in a public divorce, which is privacy.
Securing the safe harbor before the storm even hits. And the apartment itself tells such a huge emotional story.
It really does. It's a 3-bedroom, 3.5-bath condo on the Upper West Side, looking right over the Jacqueline Kennedy Onassis Reservoir.
And the building was designed by the late Costas Condylis, right?
Yes, the developer's architect. His designs are all sleek lines, massive floor-to-ceiling glass, bay windows, maximizing light.
The total opposite of a heavy 1829 brick townhouse.
Exactly. Sweeping park views from every room, modern, elevated, flooded with sunlight. And the primary suite is in its own separate wing.
A literal fortress of solitude and light, and she kept it secret until the holidays. Right as the divorce news broke, she posted from inside the grand living room, showing off a 50-pound weight loss and the Midtown skyline.
A true visual declaration of a new era. Then, in May 2026, she gave E! News and Instagram a closer look at the design by Ashley Andro.
The floor-to-ceiling windows, that cozy gray sectional, and this bold red light fixture in the dining area. Her caption was so vulnerable. "I never dreamed I would get to live somewhere like my home."
The gratitude there is just immense. The contrast between the heavy rumors and the light, joyful gratitude of this space, it's powerful.
And practically, it's a return to her roots. She lived on the Upper West Side before Brooklyn. She even joked they moved to avoid the lazy 45-minute commute to Jean's Manhattan School.
Which is so relatable. But the emotional peak of this story, May 3rd, 2026.
Oh, Jean's 7th birthday party.
Yes, she's rocking full floral face paint in this gorgeous new apartment, proudly joking on Instagram that she just threw her first birthday party as a single mom.
That image is what sticks with you, not the legal filings or the real estate losses. It's her standing in a light-filled home, covered in face paint, just thriving.
Right, it brings everything full circle.
Yeah.
From the intense public scrutiny of a 7-year marriage ending to shedding those physical properties.
Taking the $1 million hit on Brooklyn, letting go of the hand-painted Nola house.
All for this quiet, strategic move to a Central Park dream home where she is fully embracing her single mom era.
It's amazing. Which leaves us with a final thought for you to ponder. Does our physical environment dictate our emotional state? Or do our major life transitions demand we build entirely new physical spaces to hold them?
That's a great question.
Right. If you were redesigning your life from scratch after a massive change, what would your Central Park view look like? What heavy bricks would you leave behind?
You've been listening to Starscope Report, where we uncover the stories shaping Hollywood, music, and pop culture. Thanks for tuning in, and don't forget to subscribe for more stories that keep the stars shining.